everybody, we're on day 6 of the Momumentary, Single Moms Raising Food Allergic Kids. Last time I talked to you guys, I had a really angry day dealing with an isolation situation with my daughter. So I contacted the school, and their version was a little different than hers, where they said that she was in a room, but there was a woman right next to her in another room, they said, and they said that she had had some conversation with the woman the whole time. But my question was, why was this child put in the room by herself as opposed to there being some other provisions put in place when they knew that this was a situation that they had to deal with all along. She was sent to school armed with her DS and her other video games and her iPod and all that great stuff, because we were prepared for her to just have a good time until I could figure out what was going on. However, sending some emails, and things have been resolved, so there is another accommodation in place that is suitable so that we won't have this concern anymore. So at least that situation, one out of the many, has been resolved. And we seem to be in a good place with that right now. But as for me, my stress levels have increased significantly about this particular situation, because every time you turn around there's always something. We did have another incident where she wasn't feeling well, and I think I had mentioned something about this previously. Apparently the physician that we had originally had written a prescription for 1 puff of her inhaler as opposed to 2 to 4, which is normal. And so we got the new doctors and everything situated, but she's been kind of having some issues, in which I think are because of the stress. Today we had a situation where she got sick at school a few times. Not quite sure if it's the EOE. It sounds like it's an EOE situation, but I'm kind of reaching my threshold now, for dealing with things. And it's hard. So I'm putting kind of my own stress management techniques into place, but some of those things aren't working. Trying to start exercising and taking long walks and doing all that kind of stuff. But as you know, it can be difficult, very difficult to deal with those sorts of things. And she's having a hard time. She's really having a hard time. She feels different. She feels like she doesn't want anybody to know that she has food allergies. She keeps asking me, please don't tell people, which is dangerous. That can be really dangerous, because people do need to know that she hasn't, to avoid exposure, and also to make sure she gets medication if she gets sick. But the problem with that is she doesn't want other kids to know, because she doesn't want to be bullied like she was in the past. So that kind of leaves me in a place where I'm on a slippery slope, where I don't, I'd like for her to have a buddy, so that the buddy at least could kind of, look out for her and she could look out for the buddy. But she's in that place now where she's growing up and she wants some anonymity with regards to it. And as she says, she wants to be a normal kid. And the problem with being normal is that there really is no normal. We're all different people, different entities, and one person's normal is not somebody else's normal. So I'm trying to stress that to her now, but she's having a really hard time. She's tired of feeling different and being the person who always has to have a separate cupcake, being the person who always has to be mindful to carry her medi bag with her. And it's getting harder and harder sometimes, and I'm starting to wonder, what it's going to be like when she hits her teenage years, how she's going to manage that. It's also difficult sometimes to deal with her brother, because he's got it affects him too. It affects him too. So I think the next time that we talk, I'm probably going to have him at least chatting, so you guys know what it's like with him. So right now it's about 11:30 at night. Got everything together for school tomorrow. Got lunches, all that sort of stuff. Oh yeah, by the way, she forgot her lunch the other day. And that was a joy all in itself, trying to figure out what she could possibly have that was on the menu that was safe. That was very difficult. Had to try to get in touch with the cafeteria manager to try to find something that she could have and get a credit for her that day because she normally takes her lunch to school. So every day is a challenge. Every single solitary day is a challenge. But she's worth it. See you tomorrow.